This might be out. Taken comfortably. That's a good catch in the deep. One run needed. This might run away to the boundary.
Hello everyone, welcome to Straight Bat with Devesh. Today we are going to talk about the Global GT20, which was recently concluded, in fact last month, and it was one of the most talked about tournament in North America. And there were a lot of talk about that this is going to be a, whether this is going to be benefited for Canada, Canadian cricket. So I thought, why not bring somebody in the show who actually was drafted as a player in the tournament, and he is also a youngster. He's one of our pride. Did excellent job in under 19 World Cup. So welcome, Faisal Jamakandi.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much, Devesh.
So Faisal, let me ask you, how was it? How did you come to know that you have been selected for the draft? Somebody called you, or there was a prior information? Because I remember when you came last, 2 weeks before,
right?
You were not even aware of this, that you were going to play.
I had no idea.
So it was all of a sudden, right?
Yeah.
So how it happened?
I mean, I was kind of notified beforehand by Ashil, one of the directors from Mercury Group, that I would be potentially being considered to be added into the roster, and that was maybe about a week before the tournament had started. Never really heard anything after that until my dad had just done a little bit of digging, and he actually found a link about 2 days before the tournament, and then a couple of other people had sent it to me, and it was just showing me that I was on the roster for the Winnipeg Hawks team. And so I didn't really know what to think of that. I mean, nobody had from the board or anything had contacted me yet, so it was just like a random links, showing me and a few of the other Canadian guys that were added to the rosters. But then the following day, so the day before the tournament, until the day before the first day of the tournament, the board, Cricket Canada, had emailed me telling me that me and a few of the other guys were going to be added and to check in the hotel this time.
Great. We'll come to the monetary later, but let me ask you, did you follow before when you got the final call? Were you following the G220 composition, the format, and everything? You were keenly observing it?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean,
so you know who are you going to play with the moment you got a call? Okay,
pretty much.
So it was scary because there were some big names there, right?
Yeah, there were for sure. It was definitely, I wouldn't say scary. It was maybe a bit nerve-wracking. But I mean, I played with a few, trained with a few of the guys before with in some of the IPL nets and some of the Ranji Trophy nets before, so it was not the
nerve-wracking. It was not like
no. I mean, I've played with a few of the big boys before, but definitely these guys are in a kind of a different league of their own, so it was really exciting to
frankly speaking, like if you are sharing this dressing room with the likes of Bravo, David Miller, so tell me something about how was it like? They were a very cool guy. Was they very attitude? Or
no, I mean definitely they're very like down to earth people. They're very humble. You see them on TV and then you picture them as being these big superstars, and mind you, which they are, but they're very just nice people. At the end of the day, they're people just like you and me, and they make jokes and and they're they're hilarious, and they treat you as one of their teammates as they would with any of their other teammates. So
okay, so did you get any game to play? Or
no, out of the 6 games, I didn't get a chance to play.
Not a single game you got a chance. Okay, and how was like feeling like you used to bowl them on the nets? And,
yeah. So definitely whenever we went out to practice, I'd practice with them, so get a chance to bowl with them, get a chance to field with them, and that kind of stuff. So
okay,
it was definitely
so when you went there, did you sign a formal contract with the franchisee or nothing?
No, nothing.
No cricket board contract, nothing. So it was like black hole you are going into, right?
Essentially.
So what happened if you were injured or something? There was no contract, nothing, no monetary gain,
nothing.
Okay,
nothing
so that is surprising.
Yeah.
So tell me one thing. So how was when you first day when you went there on the field and you saw that Mr. Warner is sitting next to you and Miller is sitting the other side? So how was like that? Where that they make you comfortable, or you have to go and make the first?
No, they definitely do. I mean, I'm sure they've been in that situation lots of times when they've got rookies on the team and people that are kind of just new getting into these kind of leagues. So they definitely make you feel very welcome. They joke around with you, and like I said, they treat you like any of the other teammates. So definitely, you feel very welcome into the team.
Welcome in the team. And which game you thought that was very challenging and nerve-breaking for you, like while watching outside, because you were not playing?
It would have to be that last game against Vancouver Knights, the one that we got eliminated in. Yeah, it was a very close game with the rain and all, and it was a very tense situation.
Yeah, there was a rain and
That's
disruption.
right. Yeah.
So it was the over were cut down, or
yeah, it was a reduced over game.
Oh, great. So tell me one thing: who was the coach and captain of the team?
So our coach was Waqar Yunus, obviously the legendary fast bowler from Pakistan, and our captain was DJ Bravo for the first 2 games, and then David Warner after he
because Bravo has to go for.
That's right. He had to go to England for
some
county cricket.
Okay, so. How, like, did you learn something from them, or?
Yeah, I mean, it's not so to say like they gave me any kind of tips or anything like that specifically, but what you really learn from them, what you really take away from them, is just kind of their approach to the game, the way that they take it very seriously, but they also enjoy it at the same time, right? They have their pre-game rituals, or so you can call it. They're very thorough in that kind of stuff. Their warm-ups and for example, I know Mark Dayal, he would have this specific Dasani water bottle just for himself, and that's the only water he drank for the day, and no idea why he does it, but he swears by it. And probably a good performance drinking that water.
So did you ask him that why he?
Yeah, I mean,
about that
for
water?
him, he just says that he doesn't like the taste of other water, but I'm 99% sure it's just because he prefers drinking that just throughout the game.
Yeah.
Because he'll drink other water, when we're not playing the game. But yeah.
I think I have heard a lot about these great players that normally they are very particular about certain things, right? But they do also carry some kind of what do you say, believe that if I do certain thing like this, I'll have to do this. Like if I take the first pad on the right hand pad, right hand leg, then I will do always like that.
Right.
So do you did you notice some of the greats doing this?
I don't think I noticed anything too prominent. No, but I do know that they do follow certain some stuff like that.
Yeah. So how was like David Warner? How was his mental setup? Because
Warner,
he was just coming out of a controversy.
Yeah,
I think it was
for sure.
Canada was his first game after that controversy. Right?
That's right. That's right.
How was his mental setup, and how?
Honestly, it was amazing to see the way that he took it. And even when people would kind of joke about it around, people on the group chat. For example, again with Mark, he on the group chat he sent, "Does anyone have sandpaper?" Completely innocent question. It was for sanding his bat down. And David Warner just made a joke out of it. He's like, "Oh, I've got tons of it in my bag," and it's not like an offensive joke, but it's just the way that he's taking it. He doesn't put himself down anymore on it. He's kind of, that's in the past. He jokes about it. He's fine with it, and it's really cool to see the way that it just doesn't affect him at all. In his day-to-day life. And I think it's so important to be able to put stuff like that behind you, because especially with the tournament that he had, he didn't get off to the best start, but to see him really bounce back, it shows a lot of mental character.
And his fitness was great.
Yeah, for sure, absolutely.
So what did you notice about his fitness regime? Like, what extra he does? Like, he's very super.
What does he do? Right? Yeah, David Warner, he runs a lot. I'll tell you that.
Yeah,
and one of the other things that they all do is they really take advantage of the staff that they have around them. The doctors, the physios, the massage therapists, they really make use of them, which they should. After bowling a spell in practice, or after taking a knock or anything like that, they'll get stretched out by the physio, get a massage, go cool down, take a swim, have some stretching with the trainer, so that kind of stuff. They really take care of themselves, and they definitely use the staff around them. So
yeah, from outsider, when we talk about that, this tournament should bring a lot of benefits for the Canadian cricketer and for the Canada as a whole. Why we talk about this? That because when such great teams and great players are coming here, not only it brings crowds, it also bring a kind of infuse a kind of enthusiasm among the normal public that what is going around, and the awareness is going to increase. So more money coming in. But unfortunately, though I must have to admit that Cricket Board has taken a great step by organizing this tournament.
Right.
But probably they will also accept the fact that it could have been better planned, and there could be more marketing planning and more better way to do it to bring a lot of crowds, which in normal league matches I thought it was missing there.
Right.
And this, when you guys went as a team, did you feel that, and all your greats player, what was their reaction to looking at the very thin crowd, right? So what was there, like Warner?
I mean, they were pretty expressive about it. I mean, it was pretty obvious that some of them weren't so happy with kind of how the tournament panned out as it went on. The ground kind of deteriorated as the tournament went on. The pitches weren't the greatest, but at the end of the day, all the guys kind of understood that they're here for a job, and it's the first year of a tournament. They understood that obviously they'd be these hurdles.
They are professional.
So yeah, they took it in a very professional manner. They let it known between us, but as soon as we get off the bus, as soon as we get onto the ground, no complaining. We're just here for cricket, right? So that's the kind of mentality that they go with it.
A lot of people came to me and said, you know what, if there is no crowd, it actually does not bring the best from the best player, right? So because these best players are hungry for applause, and this is what they play for. You play for applause, right? If there is no crowds looking at you and not cheering for you, there will be always certain degree of complacency.
And I think one part of it, or one aspect of it, I think also had to do with kind of the location of the ground. King City, it's not the closest to the city or to the suburbs, so probably having it in a different venue for the following years would probably be one of their priorities to look at.
So what do you think that what is the given the situation? We have a limited grounds around GTA. So what do you think? Which all grounds do you think should be good for these kind of tournaments?
I think Mississauga, Iceland would definitely be one of them, which is actually my own home ground.
Oh yeah, I also played there.
Yeah, I mean the couple times that we practiced there, all the guys were asked. David Warner himself, he got down and he was like, "Why is the tournament not here?"
He went there.
Yeah, we were practicing there a few times, and the guys absolutely loved it. The Toronto Cricket Club, they used to have the Sahara Cup there. It's a brilliant ground. I think probably the best in Canada.
Yeah.
And also Mavis ground, OCA's ground. It's a decent ground as well. I mean, but I think. I don't think this one venue tournament is the way to go about it. As we can see, it's pretty hard to keep 2 or 3 or 4 pitches on rotation for an entire tournament, a 22-day tournament. It's kind of tough on the ground itself. So I hope that that's something that they're looking to combat, for the following years, because that would, hopefully be a priority for them.
So you accept for the fact that the tournament could have been better planned, and there could be better things for the Canadian players. So with this, we complete our first part, and after the break, we'll meet you for the second part. So stay tuned for Straight Bat with Devesh. See you after the break.
Greenish Hair, Skin and Nails formula is packed with all the essential nutrients like biotin, omega-3, vitamins, and minerals to provide your hair, skin, and nails the nourishment that it needs. Like all other Greenish vitamins and supplements, the Hair, Skin and Nails formula is gluten-free, dairy-free, soy-free, and non-GMO. It is also halal, kosher, and veggie certified. So make Greenish Hair, Skin and Nails formula a part of your daily healthcare routine.
Welcome to Straight Bat with Devesh. So as you know, we are talking about the Global GT20 tournament, which was recently concluded in Canada with a lot of fanfare. The greatest thing happened about this tournament that I saw Brian Lyra there giving his mentorship to the young players. So we assume and think, and we should be positive enough to think that there are a lot of positivity and a lot of good things came to Canada in terms of cricket and in terms of money as well. But whether those money were distributed to Canadian players, it is a question, and it is our right to ask. And Faisal, I would like to ask that, was there any monetary benefit for you?
No.
Are you comfortable for next 1 year?
No.
No?
So
you were not paid any money?
No, not for the GT20.
No, that's sad to know. But in terms of experience, what do you think? Do you gain some experience? And what you were like in July when you come first to my show, and what you are today as a player? Do you compare and see, okay, my bar has gone like this because I share my dressing room with Waqar Yunus, one of the greatest ever. Did he give you some tips to?
Again, more than at that level, it's a bit less of coaching and it's a bit more of mentoring. So definitely, I mean, I learned so much. I tried to pick his mind as much as I could and kind of learn his mentalities of when he used to play as a bowler and such. So maybe as a physical, you know, skill-wise, I may be the same player as I was when I came to your show a couple months ago. But you know, definitely mentally from what I've learned from them and you know that experience of the GT20, just being around players like that, it definitely helps, and it's a good experience to have under the belt.
So when it comes to Waqar Yunus, I have to ask this question: did you learn how to do swinging Yorkers?
Unfortunately, 20 days wasn't enough for me to learn how to bowl those Yorkers like him.
But is he a hard taskmaster? Because when he was a manager of Pakistan cricket team, there were a lot of controversy about that. He focused so much on fitness that he makes every bowler run like 20 kilometers.
Right.
And bowlers are tired by the time the game starts. So was it like him?
No, it wasn't. It wasn't anything like that.
So he's mellowed down, right?
Yeah.
He's like not.
And
like
I think it's also you know, with leagues like this, the players kind of know what they want more, and the coach is a little bit there more to kind of tailor their program more you know, to cater towards the players. So if the players kind of don't want to do a certain things, the coaches don't really force them to. So
yeah, because like a couple of episodes back, I was discussing this global G20 tournament with one of your former captain of Canada, Mr. Karun Jetty. And the concern we raised was that these all youngsters were called in the team in such a short span of time that maybe mentally they were not prepared, right? So if I know like 1 month ahead that I'm going to play with these greats, or I'm going to be part of this GT20 tournament, I will be mentally prepared that how I'm going to approach, what will be the thing I'm looking to learn. But if I get a call overnight, like one day before, maybe I'm like 5 days will be gone in just a shock, right?
yeah.
So that's what our concern were, and we were said, I don't know, because Karun in his time also faced the same problem. He played with Wasim Akram and those kind of player, but he said these are like nothing. These player comes, take money, goes back, there's nothing left for us. So do you think there's a, you know, our concern were right, and it should have been better planned and given you more time to prepare?
That would definitely have been ideal. You know, kind of getting added as a very late addition. It's like you said, it's a little bit of a mentally taxing thing to know, because it's kind of overnight. You got to switch on and be ready for literally pack for a 22-day long tournament and just be ready to switch on and be on your A game, which is it's a little tough, but. Then again, it's a challenge, so you know, take the positives from it. And
nevertheless, we have to you know, congratulate cricket board for organizing such a great tournament, and we hope that in future these points which we are raising should be taken care of. And for our local player, there should be more thing to monetary gain, and you know, not only monetary gain, there should be more exposure in terms of game, because none of the players, these youngsters, were given a chance to play a game. So. Unless you play the actual game, you as a player don't understand where I stand, right? So, yeah, hopefully next time you will get a better chance. Now, in terms of monetary, we expect there are a lot of monetary gain to cricket board. So, how is this going? Do you think like, how is your under-19 team doing, and are you playing under-19 this time?
So I was again given an email by Cricket Canada, by the board, a few weeks ago to there's this tour for the under-19 Cricket Canada, or the under-19 Canadian team, for this tour in St. Vincent. It's a very similar tournament, or it's the same tournament, it's a Super 50 that Cricket West Indies board hosts every year. And we had gone and played at St. Kitts last year. This year it's St. Vincent that's hosting it.
Are you going there?
No, so the team is actually there right now. They landed, I think, 3 days ago. They had their first game against Guyana yesterday.
So you were not selected, or what happened?
Well, I mean, they invited me to come, but the problem is they were asking $2,000 per player to go.
Hang on.
Quite frankly,
you, one of the finest bowler in under-19 World Cup, you took 19 wickets
14 wickets.
14 wickets, sorry.
that's
Yeah,
all right.
you know, you never mess up with the run and the wickets of a player. So sorry,
all right, no
14
problem.
wickets, and you have been asked to pay money to go and play for Canada.
That's right. Yeah.
Oh. So this is a breaking news for me. So I don't know. In any other country, the player have been asked to pay money to visit to represent the country. So this is shocking to know, and where we have earned a money as it was publicized in a global GT20. So this is shame, and I think this should be taken care of, and players should not be paying for playing for Canada. This is like biggest shocking news I can ever expect. So anyway, so you are not going.
No.
So are you sure that you will be playing next under 19 international?
Well, no, the next World Cup I'll be too old to play, but
Okay.
even such tournaments I honestly have no interest to play after this kind of thing that's happening, because it's almost just it's off-putting, because the statement that you're giving the guys like myself, I would have had to pay that $2,000 had I not played the last World Cup, because I would have still had that drive. Oh, I want to play the World Cup. I want to be in this team, and your kids are out there trying to make a name for themselves, so they're almost forced to pay that $2,000 to represent
But the last
country.
time when you went to play under 19, you were not asked money.
No, we weren't.
This time around, you
That's
have
right.
been asked to pay money. So is this kind of indication that you are not selected, or maybe it's time to go?
I don't think it's just me, because all the players that got had to pay the $2,000. So I'm not sure what the reasoning was behind asking the players to pay, but yeah, unfortunately all the players that went had to pay that $2,000.
So my question to Cricket Board of Canada, and I have been requesting all the cricketing official to come and face the interview, but they have been dodging me. But I am again going to request you that if you have time, please come and answer my question. Otherwise, there will be always one side story, so there will be no clarification. So this is my again a humble request to please accept my invitation and come to the show, so that we can talk about for the betterment of the Cricket Canada. Okay, so till the time you guys come, let me talk to Fazal and take his journey forward, because this is not the end. Like
Yeah,
under 19 you already played, and we are very proud of your performance.
Thank you.
So what is your next plan? What are you doing now?
So my next plan for now is honestly just to work on my game, or on my game. Sorry, the winter's coming up, so I'm going to be traveling again. I'm going to be training in India and probably Barbados early next year as well. So right now, just trying to get better, and hopefully I'm just going to be trying to apply to as many leagues as I can. I mean, that's pretty much where I want to be taking my cricket, is into those T20 franchise leagues. So over the next 2-3 years, just want to focus on getting that break, getting into one of those leagues, and
So
just
in
take it
India,
from there.
under which coach you are going to play? For
So
I'll
be playing under Surendra Bhave.
Surendra Bhave in
Yeah,
Pune,
so he's
okay.
yeah, that's right, in Pune.
And if I'm not wrong, he's a batting coach, right?
That's
So
right. He is a batting
batting-
coach, but he runs an academy there with a panel of Ranji Trophy coaches.
So, and who's paying for your
so
Cricket
I'll
Board
be-
of Canada?
No, I'll be going under my own expense.
Okay, you are going on your expense.
Yeah,
So
that's right.
So this is one of the problem I see in Canada. I understand there is a lack of money, but there should be some kind of support to the growing player like you, Akash, and other players who are doing well in their cricketing career. They should be supported, but unfortunately we are lacking there.
Yeah.
And hopefully it will go up. So all the best, Fazal.
Thank you very much.
And I know that you have a lot of potential, and there's a miles to go. And only thing I can request you, not to lose hope, and keep playing the way you are playing. You are fit enough, you are young, so there's unlimited thing to do. So
Absolutely. Thank you
never
very
lose
much.
hope and I remember your ideal is Brett Lee. So
That's right.
keep following keep chasing your dream, and I can wish you all the best.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much for
Thanks,
coming.
Devesh.
Thank you. Cricket is a minor sport in Canada. Just think about it. It was at one given point of time, it was one of the top game in Canada. In fact, it was a national game. It had a journey of downward, and today is one of the minor sports. Nevertheless, Canada played 4 World Cup with all these challenges and everything. So, Canada played in 1979, 2003, 2007 and 2011. It is not that we did not have a hero. We have some of the glorious moment in a World Cup due to some individual performance. And one of the such performance I remember was from John Davison. And John Davison was the guy who was one of the finest batsmen Canada has ever seen in terms of his striking rate. He not only in 2003, if I am not wrong, he scored the fastest century in the tournament against West Indies, though for the losing cause, but it was in fact a brilliant performance. And I remember in India, everyone was talking about John Davison that time, that what a guy. And after that, he scored a half century against New Zealand, again for the losing cause, but it was with the 200 striking rate. Can you imagine that? But where is he now today? You cannot find John Davison in Canada doing anything for the cricket. Was it our failure to retain him and take some of the useful tips and get the player role model and to develop some of the player out of him? Did we use his skill? No. Today he is nowhere to seen in the Canada, or it was his greed that he came and used the Canada and just went away when the usage was done. So, these are the things which we need to realize and should we start working on, that we do not need a player and promote a player who does not think about Canada. So, it is my promise that I will keep highlighting the issues which I think is a greater stumbling block for the growth of cricket in Canada, and will also try to discuss the solutions. And it is not necessary that it is the final solution, but at least we can talk about the solutions. So, please keep supporting me and keep watching Straight Bat with Devesh.
This might be out. Taken comfortably. That's a good catch in the deep. 1 run needed. This might run away to the boundary.